Here's your full script rewritten smoothly as a single continuous narrative without headings or hash marks, keeping it immersive and cinematic. For decades, Neptune was dismissed as a frozen, silent orb drifting at the edge of our solar system, a lifeless, pale blue marble trapped in an endless, uneventful orbit. But now something has changed, something we were never meant to see. The James Webb Space Telescope has pierced through Neptune's clouded veil, and what it found defies every model we've trusted for generations. When renowned astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson took the stage at a recent global symposium, he didn't just share data. He ignited a shockwave that now threatens to rewrite the very laws of planetary science. What if Neptune isn't just a gas giant? What if it's something else entirely? Something that behaves like a living system, radiating energy, bending physics, and hiding structures no one ever imagined could exist inside a planet. Neptune was never discovered in the traditional sense. It wasn't seen through a telescope before it was predicted. Instead, it was summoned into existence through mathematics, its presence revealed by the unexplained wobbles in Uranus's orbit. When it was finally observed in 1846, astronomers classified it as the eighth planet, a frigid giant of gas and ice spinning far beyond the warmth of the Sun. Voyager 2's flyby in 1989 gave us fleeting images of swirling storms and winds faster than any on Earth, but after that, Neptune was labeled, shelved, and forgotten. Yet beneath those blue hues and whispering winds, something waited. Something that would not stay buried forever. Through the eyes of the James Webb Space Telescope and high-powered interferometers on Earth, hidden structures, energies, and anomalies beneath Neptune's clouds have begun to speak. And what they're saying is terrifyingly clear: Neptune doesn't behave like a planet. It behaves like something else entirely. Traditionally, we thought giant planets had predictable layers: a core, an ice mantle, a gas envelope, stable and structured. But Webb's infrared data and radio frequency readings paint a drastically different picture. Instead of neat layers, Neptune appears to be a chaotic mosaic. Some regions act like slushy plasma. Others pulse with mysterious heat that shouldn't exist so far from the Sun. Pockets deep beneath the clouds emit thermal energy with no identifiable source, no tidal heating, no solar input, no explanation. Even stranger is the possibility that Neptune is partially hollow, containing resonant cavities or stratified chambers that trap and reflect electromagnetic and gravitational waves in bizarre ways, almost as if the planet itself is singing a cosmic note. Tyson described a world in constant internal motion, unpredictable and perhaps unstable, a place where the classic model of planetary behavior doesn't just fail, it collapses. The magnetic field only deepens the mystery. We already knew it was tilted and offset, but now evidence shows it is evolving in real time. Imagine a magnetic field that drifts, breaks apart, and reforms in cycles with no known trigger. Instead of a convecting metallic core like Earth's, Neptune may possess a layer of exotic ices under extreme pressure, generating electricity and magnetism in an entirely alien way. Chief among these materials is superionic ice, a strange phase where water becomes both solid and liquid at once, with hydrogen ions flowing through an oxygen lattice like lightning through a frozen ocean. This electrified slush may form vast internal circuits, creating a magnetic engine unlike anything else in the solar system. And then there are the radio signals. Webb has detected deep, dark frequencies originating far beneath Neptune's atmosphere. These aren't the usual emissions from solar-wind interactions. They have patterns, rhythms, and anomalies that don't match known natural processes. Some theorists whisper about quantum-level activity inside Neptune's core, or unknown states of matter interacting under unimaginable pressure. Combined with evidence of internally driven storms, it paints a picture of a planet more like a failed star, locked in eternal instability, than the icy giant we thought we knew. Far beyond Neptune, another silent witness has been watching. Voyager 2, launched nearly 5 decades ago, has long since crossed the heliopause into interstellar space, expected to drift quietly and measure the emptiness. For years, it sent back only data on particles, fields, and cosmic background. But recently, that silence was broken. In its plasma wave readings, NASA detected a sudden spike, brief but deliberate. It pulsed in a rhythm too structured to be random. At first, engineers suspected interference, a glitch from cosmic rays, or simply the degradation of an aging probe. But when the pattern repeated, stronger each time, they realized it was no error. Voyager 2 had seen something, and it was sending back its signature. When scientists cleaned and analyzed the data, what emerged was so precise it sent ripples through the astrophysics community. The pattern suggested movement, deliberate, measured, out there in the darkness beyond Neptune. Something not just drifting, but moving with purpose. If Neptune is truly a self-sustaining atmospheric machine, fueled by exotic matter, magnetic chaos, and strange internal energy, then perhaps it isn't just a planet at all. Perhaps it's part of a larger mystery, one Voyager has just begun to glimpse. And if that's true, our solar system may not be the quiet, well-behaved neighborhood we once believed. It may be far stranger, far louder, and far more alive than we ever dared imagine. Here's your rewritten version as a smooth, continuous cinematic narrative without headings or hash marks, keeping the tension and pacing intact. There was an object approximately 500,000 kilometers from Voyager 2, moving at a velocity that defied every model of natural motion in that region of space. No asteroid belts lay nearby, no rogue planets, no comets on predicted paths. And yet this thing wasn't simply drifting, it was tracking. Its movement aligned with the probe's trajectory, subtly adjusting speed as if to maintain a precise distance. It followed like a predator in the wake of its prey, staying close enough to watch, far enough to avoid alarm. NASA's scientists weren't the only ones unsettled. Independent astronomers and even military deep space tracking stations confirmed it wasn't a malfunction. Plasma density readings, magnetometer anomalies, and slight deviations in Voyager's gyroscopic stability all pointed to the same conclusion. Voyager 2 had company. And that company might not be friendly. The most disturbing part wasn't what Voyager 2 saw, it was what it sent back. Buried in its routine telemetry was a packet of data the probe had not been programmed to transmit. When decrypted, it revealed binary strings that, when plotted visually, formed intricate glyphs, spirals, loops, intersections. They looked deliberate, like symbols from an ancient language or the geometry of crop circles. Linguists and astrophysicists fed the data into advanced analysis systems. The verdict was unanimous. The signal's structure matched the profile of an intentional transmission, not a natural phenomenon. Something had either embedded itself in Voyager's communications or hijacked them entirely. Whether it was a warning, a greeting, or something far more ominous, no one could agree. Some celebrated it as proof of intelligent life. Others saw it as surveillance, a prelude to something far worse. And then came the chilling realization: this wasn't the first time. Months earlier, Voyager 1 had recorded a similar anomaly in the same general region of space. Back then, it was dismissed as static interference. Now, reanalyzed with modern AI decoding, it matched the current signal almost perfectly. The team mapped the object's path and found it impossible to replicate using known physics. It didn't follow gravitational arcs like comets or asteroids. Its trajectory bent as though it were manipulating spacetime itself, slipping just beyond optical range. It reacted only to Voyager's transmissions, as though it were listening, or learning. Magnetometer readings began to show violent shifts in magnetic flux, far too abrupt to be natural. Leaked reports hinted the patterns resembled energy distortions predicted in theoretical warp drive models. And the signals weren't fading, they were multiplying. Around the world, radio telescopes began picking up faint echoes of the same distorted frequency, pulsing in sync with Voyager 2's signal delays. Analysts dubbed it the phantom pulse. It was as if the anomaly's presence extended far beyond its location, projecting itself across space in perfect synchrony. The timing was the most unsettling detail. Voyager 2 had been coasting for nearly 5 decades. Yet now, at the exact moment when Earth's artificial intelligence and quantum decoding had matured enough to decipher such a signal, the object had chosen to respond. Some whispered that it had been waiting for this moment, not tracking the probe itself, but watching humanity's progress from afar. Media blackouts followed. Private observatories reported sudden equipment shutdowns. Researchers involved in the decoding effort vanished from public projects. Behind closed doors, the question wasn't "what is it?" anymore, it was "why now?" Voyager 2 had left Earth as an emissary of curiosity. But somewhere in the cold silence beyond Neptune, it became a trigger. The moving shadow, the mirrored transmissions, the impossible physics, they don't fit into the clean boundaries of human science. Something is out there, not in a distant galaxy, but here, on the fringes of our own solar system. Watching. Waiting. And, perhaps most disturbing of all, it has chosen this exact moment to answer. The question is no longer whether we're alone. The question is what exactly we've just awakened. And if the next signal comes, we may learn that answer sooner than we're ready to hear it.